Ryan McDonough put out on Twitter earlier on Sunday saying that, listen, he thinks that this could get it done, that the Lakers would get both Kyrie and Joe Harris, who's recouping from serious injury. Right. The Nets would get Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, and draft compensation. Remember, the Lakers don't have any draft compensation to give until 2027. Right. So let me ask you that. Just on that deal right there, is that a deal the Nets say yes to?
If all the picks are in place, because we know they don't have any picks because of the James Harden trade. That's why it would make sense. And then if you make that trade, does Russell Westbrook stay? You know, there's room that he maybe get bought out, goes back to OKC. Right. So there's a lot of conversations there. But then again, are you getting enough back to put around KD to say, KD, I'm going to say this again. I know you've been unhappy. I know this past year didn't go the way you wanted to. I'm not getting rid of you. I'm keeping you. Let me get some pieces, some picks. No, I need some players. Right. You're 33 years old. So let me try to get some more quality players around you. If that doesn't work, then I'll trade you. I'm taking my time. I'm not going, it's not a quick sale. This is not a quick stock.
Remember, Russell Westbrook opted into his contract, going to make more than $46 million this upcoming season. Meanwhile, Mark Stein is reporting that LeBron James is now rooting hard for the Lakers to acquire Kyrie Irving, which is amazing because they had an ugly breakup in Cleveland several years ago.
I say it again. Warriors, tell Draymond to call KD if you want it to happen. LeBron, he has Kyrie's number. Hey, I'm getting a little bit older. Let's figure this out. AD stays healthy. You know what I mean? It's like you start putting it out there where it's a lot of ifs, but LeBron, we know is going to take care of his body. No freak accident. AD's the one that we know has had the freak accidents, right? You get those three healthy in the way Kyrie scores, you put some role players around him, it gets interesting. It really does get interesting.
Yeah, especially if Joe Harris is healthy. That's the type of player the Lakers need.
Exactly. Guys that create space, knock down shots when those guys get double teamed.
You believe in the Lakers a lot more if they have Kyrie with AD and LeBron than with Russ.
I don't want to use the word believe. I said it makes it more interesting because you still have to fill out the roster. And we know when one of those guys goes to the bench, if your bench is not deep enough, it's all for nothing.
All right, there are several other teams who have made deals. That includes the Eastern Conference champs. Some free agent news on Sunday. 36-year-old Goran Dragic is reportedly on his way to Chicago to join the Bulls. Last year, he played for the Nets, averaging just over 7 points a game in limited action, just about 5 assists per game. So he goes to Chicago. The Bulls, they got their big signing done by giving Zach LaVine the extension.
Yes.
This is a team that looked really good the first 2-3 months of the season and then fell off. They've essentially brought back the same roster that disappointed last year in the playoffs. Do you feel any better about the Bulls today than you did when the season ended?
A little bit, but it all starts with health. Can the Bulls stay healthy this year? If that happens with Williams and then you got Lonzo, now you feel better about what can happen. Now Drummond, you don't have to play major minutes. Right. Be a solid backup, block some shots, rebound, set some quality screens, get Zach and them guys going. That's perfect. Lonzo's healthy. Now, Dragic, I don't need you to play 30 minutes a night. Come give me those quality 12 to 16 backup minutes. If somebody's out for a game or two, you can handle the fort. So a little bit better, but they got to be healthy first.
Yeah, Caruso, Lonzo Ball, all those guys, absolutely, no question. Yeah. All right, let's get to 3D's most interesting moves so far of the offseason. Let's begin with Malcolm Brogdon going from Indiana to Boston.
I'm a little biased because one of my favorite kids being here from Atlanta, but we know what he brings to the table, both ends of the floor. And what was the biggest complaint in the finals for the Celtics?
Lack of bench.
Lack of bench. Lack of a solid point guard. We love Marcus Smart. He's the defensive player of the year for a reason. We know he's a junkyard dog. We know he's, top 1 or 2 guys take charges. Right. But we needed a better point guard decision maker late game. Now Marcus Smart move you over to the 2. Now you got Brown, Tatum. Now Williams in the middle. Bring Al Horford off the bench as your veteran. Now, Boston, things get a little more interesting on the defensive end because that's where you lay your hat. And now offensively, swing now Tatum out of the double team. Malcolm Brogdon can make knockdown shots.
Interesting you say that. Maybe it turns into that. But as of now, reports out of Boston, Marcus Smart, opening night, still the point guard. We'll see if that changes.
No, let me say it again. They can be point guards, but big picture people. End of the ball games, that's the kind of lineup you're going to have on the floor. Where ball players are nowadays, starting is not a lot. They want to be on the floor the last 5 minutes of the ball game when it's crunch time. That's the lineup I'm looking for.
Crunch Time, my favorite show.
Ooh, yeah.
Speaking of Boston, their former president of basketball operations, Danny Ainge, now running the ship in Utah. He shook the basketball world by sending Rudy Gobert to Minnesota for a haul.
Yes, the 4th of July was a few nights ago when Danny took over. We were allowed to make
fireworks.
Moves. Oh, my goodness, you're talking about fireworks. And the first thing we thought about was what Danny Ainge did before he left Boston, how he rebuilt KG, Paul Pierce. You're like, he's doing what? The next thing you know, Brown, Tatum, and all those assets, and next thing you know, Boston's back in reality and back into the playoffs. Guess what? He's going to do the same thing again. But I'm not sure Donovan Mitchell's going to be traded, though, like he got rid of Paul Pierce and KG because they were a little bit older. I think he keeps Donovan Mitchell and kind of builds around him. The question is, with these picks, how old Donovan is, you got to bring back a few more players now. Malik Beasley, a couple of those guys I like a lot, but you're in the Western Conference. You need another stud to go next to Donovan Mitchell. Then I think I feel a little bit better what Danny Ainge is doing.
A shout out to all the Utah Jazz beat writers. They did a Twitter Spaces on Saturday night, late at night, and for all of us that had really exciting lives and are out partying or sitting on our couches, we all tuned in. It was great job by them. And again, as of now, the reports are at this moment, Danny Ainge has no plans of trading Donovan Mitchell, but that right phone call comes, he may change his mind.
Yes, he's not scared.
Okay, let's go to New Orleans, where Zion Williamson, who can't seem to get on the basketball court, has had multiple injuries. He gets what is reported to be a max extension.
Jared, we always say to ourselves, there's certain guys worth the wait. There's certain talented guys worth the wait. So when you go back and look at history of #1 picks and injuries, was Blake Griffin worth the wait? Yeah, but Lob City and what he did those, 7 or 8 years being in, it was worth it. Joel Embiid, well, we stayed the process because of him. Ben was headed in that direction before the injury, the bag, and obviously when he got traded. From day one, when we saw Zion on YouTube and all social media, he's been worth the wait the 1 year at Duke, leaving Duke. Yes, he's been banged up in New Orleans. He's worth the wait. He's worth the max. Now, big fella, take care of your body, get on the court, and continue to do what you showed us when you shoot, 60%? Higher, 66, whatever that was. Yeah, stay healthy and remind us how good you are.
And the pictures on social media, he looks ripped. He looks like he's doing his job. One caveat to the rookie max extension, the reports are, we don't know just yet, look a lot like Joel Embiid's contract, which was incentive-laden, which means you got to play in order to be able to get that rookie max.
That's fair.
Let's talk about the L.A. Clippers, who looks like they're going to get Kawhi back. Paul George is going to be healthy. And now you add into the mix John Wall, who we haven't seen play basically in 2 years.
Yeah, we haven't seen him play but a bunch of pickup games on social media. My question for you, John Wall, is real simple. As you've been off the last 2 years, have you really worked on your jump shot? Get steals, play the passing lane, push it. That's not a problem. Half-court situation, the ball's in Kawhi's hand, the ball's in Paul George's hand. So if you haven't watched the playoffs the last 2 years, Patrick Beverly was off the ball, Reggie Jackson's off the ball. So, John Wall, come see me. Come and shoot his paradise. Let's work on leaving it, because that's where you're going to be most of the time on the floor with those two guys. If you work on that, this thing could work.
All right, those are 3D's most interesting moves so far. We have to say so far, because there could be more interesting things.
Stuff could be coming.
Yes. All right. Much more to come, including heading into the All-Star break and the